We are recording. That is just marvelous.
In fact, it is beautiful.
Yes, yeah. Welcome back, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Slice of Mills.
Yes,
In
please.
today's episode, we're changing things up a little bit and we are speaking about consistency. So we've had quite a bit of people reach out to us and help us with some content ideas and some things that we can change.
Yes.
So first things first, you're sitting at a slightly different angle. So it feels more like you're part of the conversation. And we've got a few other things we're going to do. So today, if you see it, we're looking slightly below you, angled there, right about us, because we've got notes and things you want to talk about.
Yes, yeah, which I like.
Structure.
Yes, it's good for us, and it just makes it a little bit more structured, as Joss has mentioned. So we're not waffling and carrying on about whatever, whenever. So as you say, today's topic is about consistency, and we're going to be getting into that quite nicely. And as it flows, you'll see how things fit in. So very keen to see where this goes today.
Yeah. So that is what you can look forward to in this episode. And we've just got the only things we've written down here is just some ideas of some topics we want to touch on and what it means to us and all of the above, just so we've got a little bit of a format. And I'm sure we'll learn as we go along to be able to do this without having notes, or if having notes, then just having a topic like a sandwich structure. So we identified it in the end of the last episode ourselves after chatting with someone that who pointed it out, that we talk in circles a lot. I think we noticed that a little bit after the last one. We talk in circles a lot, and we cover topics that have been covered too many times. We're just not moving forward. So this is our effort to try and do that. So I'm excited to see where this goes. And the other thing is we're going to try not to give too much information about stuff that doesn't matter to the general viewer. So if you're looking for a more personal thing with us, then we might have to start doing some live streams or something where we give you personal updates and live updates. But for now, we're just going to move into our topic and move on and see how it goes.
Yep. So
first things first, let's identify. It's not on the list yet. That's the first point, but we'll get there now. Let's identify. I know that the person who controls the definitions controls the conversation. So let's hear, in general, what do you see as consistency, or what is consistency?
So consistency, from my perspective, is always being there and doing what you say you're going to do constantly and without fail. Yes, there'll be some mistakes that one makes, but are you always there? Are you the same person regularly? Do you have your highs and lows? But through everything that you're doing, are you consistent? If you think about it in your work situation as well, are you doing your work regularly as you should? And are you seeing to things as you need to see? Consistency, there we go. Beautiful example of your consistency, that reminder that came up. So
it's alarm to go to bed.
There we go. So I think it's just living life with proper routine and knowing what you're going to be doing and tweaking a little bit here and there. But are you the same person that you were yesterday, in the sense of you're always there, you're doing what you need to do, and you're supporting and things like that? So that, to me, is a kind of a definition of consistency.
I think I completely agree with you. I think consistency is a repeated act or a standard that you implement.
Yeah.
So you can be consistently good and you can be consistently bad. So we know someone is consistently late.
Yes.
And it is consistently like that. So to me, it is a standard of repeated acts, and it's just a consistent, repetitive standard. That's what consistency is to me.
Yeah, and the downside with someone who's consistently negative, if you want to call it that, or tells people to do one thing, but they themselves do a totally different thing, and they consistently do what they purport not to be doing.
Yeah.
So they expect certain things from people, but they themselves don't follow through, or they themselves don't show or lead by example, and it has become a consistent situation. So what happens now is people say, if they say we need to be there at 8:30 and they normally pitch up at 9 o'clock, we're only going to pitch up at 9:45, 10 to 9, because what's the point of being there early? Then on the odd occasion where this person inconsistently is on time, according to the time they would say, and everybody else is so used to them. Guess
Being
what?
late.
People pitch up 40 minutes late or 20
Yeah.
minutes late, and then this individual may get very upset and say, "Hey, but I said." Well, you've always done. So
Yeah.
said and done, two different things.
Yeah.
You know, so
We won't name any names, we won't point any
No,
fingers,
we
but there
don't.
are people out there who do that, and there's been someone in our life recently that's been like that, and it's very consistent, super, super consistent. And that's actually something, that's what we wanted to touch on in one of our points. I don't know which point it is, but we'll get there when we get there. But just to quickly end that one off is
excuse me.
having that level of consistency, even when it's bad, at least it's consistent, I guess, is what, yeah. So
Yeah,
I don't know
for
where I
sure.
was actually trying to go with that point, but I was thinking about on our way home, we were driving behind a few people that were consistently bad drivers, but at least they're consistent. Like, it's not they do one or two bad moves and then they drive well for the rest. They drive bad here, bad there, bad at the next one.
Bad
So, you
all
know,
everywhere,
okay,
yes.
stay away from that guy. He's nuclear. Just
Correct.
move around him.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
at least if you're consistent, stay consistent. If you're bad, stay consistently bad, unless you're willing to spark a change. But then you have to be consistent in that change.
Yes.
And that's the other thing I just realized. We need to not say consistency too much.
Correct.
Because that's what we do with our power of choice.
That is right.
Okay, so we'll stop that now.
All right. Okay.
Right. Our first point is consistency as the foundation of change. True transformation doesn't come from the big moments. It comes from the small things that you repeat daily.
Mm. Yeah, very true. And I think it's when you're forming habits, which is now what we've been referring to, those habits become what people become accustomed to and people become used to, and they then become very reliant on you as an individual. Are you the person we can rely on to do what you say you're going to do? Absolutely. Why? Because you're always doing it and you're not flip-flopping, and one day this, next day that, the next day this, and so on and so forth. So it's important to put these things in place for yourself and to keep yourself on point, that the people can always say, okay, that's the go-to person. And in business, it's the same thing as well. Are you consistently reliable as far as doing the work that you say you're going to do? I had an interesting meeting this morning with one of my entrepreneurs, and one of the things that came out was he was very happy to say that Mercedes-Benz South Africa and East London are making use of him again this year, and so much so that the other processes that they would normally put in place for the work that they've got him to do, they've discarded that because of how well he performed the last time and the time before. So now they're saying, okay, because you have shown repeat ability and doing things with competence and confidence, we're giving you the business. Even though his price was slightly higher, it wasn't much higher, but slightly higher. And in fact, they've gone one step further. They've actually added additional work that they want him to do on top of the work that he would have done for them this year.
Sure.
So he's very, very happy about that, and it's made a big difference. So now the work that he has had for 2 years in running, now is the third year running, and he can confidently believe that it'll always be his business for the duration of them being there. They won't bother looking anywhere else.
And that's exactly what the change we're talking about, Jez. That consistency is the level of product that he is producing and the standard that he is giving over.
Correct.
Has produced a change.
Yeah.
And that's exactly where it comes from. The little things that you continually repeat to do or continue to repeat. Talking in circles here. But the things you continue to repeat on a daily basis will result in the change that you're expecting. So a simple thing that I like to think of is, and I think I said it in the previous episode as well, you don't fall back to your habits, you fall back to your standards.
Very important. Very true.
Structures, not standards, structures. So your structures come from consistency that you continue to build up and you continue to put in place that becomes your standard where you'll fall back to, which can also be called a habit. But I think habits they change depending on where you are and what type of consistency you try to build. So, I think if you want to start changing something, you've got to be consistent in that. And perfect example is if you want to start eating healthy, if you have a cheat meal every now and then and you refresh, or you like, imagine, let's see it like exactly with eating. If you are trying to stop having sugar, but then every week you have a cheat day and you have so much sugar that it blows your taste buds out the water, and you're really looking forward to that sugar again.
Certainly,
you're defeating the whole purpose, and you're breaking down all that change that you've started implementing in your life. You're going to start really wanting to have that sugar again because your body is still getting used to that taste, still getting its fill. So just in that simple example, I think it shows you that you can't be inconsistent, because it breaks the change and it breaks what you are busy building and making. I'm talking very much in circles. I'm being very conscious of what I'm saying.
No problem. Yeah. So,
Sorry,
it's quite, you're quite right in what you're saying. And using that word as well. Last week, I decided 72-hour fast. Stuck it out. Very happy with the 72-hour fast. Once again this week, another 72-hour fast. So what I'm happy about is I did it last week. I've done it this week. I want to do it again next week, and I want to do it again the week after. So I wanted to become something like the norm. However, I might change it to from a 72-hour fast to a 72-hour once a month, but a 36-hour every week, at least once a week. And I've already found on the belt today, I went up an extra notch again. So I'm very happy about that. The centimeters are going away. However, but the weight hasn't come down. So it's I've kept the same weight as last week. But we'll see. I'm not really going about. I know I like to weigh myself on a regular basis, which is probably contrary to what they say we should be doing. But for me, I like to see, am I tracking on that or not? However, on the belt, I'm up another notch. I'm very happy about that, because that means that I'm losing mass, which is really where I want to go. So being consistent now, it's interesting. I'm at the 48-hour mark at the moment. It's and it's not even tough for me. I'm not even tired. I'm not even dopey. And you often think about, when people talk about it, when you do this, you're far more alert and you're far more this, and you're finding a lot more life in your system, and that. And I have found that to be true. So you always, when you hear it, you think, yeah, okay. But now, having done it myself, I can say, okay, it's not right anymore. It's real for me, of course. So I encourage any one of you out there that are thinking about this, certainly have a look at fasting. And there are a couple of types of fast. There's a water fast, there's a dry fast, and there's just a straight meal fast as well. And for me, it's just meal fast. I'm having liquids, so I have coffee with a bit of honey in, and or just hot water. And I'm enjoying it. I really am. I think it's fascinating. And doing that all the time, yes, please, happiness.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, for sure.
It's good. It's good. Good. Have anything else to add on this topic, or I don't have anything else? We'll go to the next one.
Yeah, I'm happy. We can move on now.
Why consistency beats motivation? Motivation fades, but consistency keeps you moving when emotions drop. So actually, I've got a bit on this one.
All right, over to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Go for it.
So it's actually something we've also been talking quite a bit about at that other modeling group and agency thing that joined up this year. Also confidence. It's up and down. One day you may wake up and you may feel, I'm on top of the world. I've got energy right now. This is great. This is awesome. The next day you wake up and you're completely the opposite.
Sure.
Down in the dumps and you're probably at the bottom. So consistency in building a routine and building a structure, especially for us men, I think it is very, very important. It helps to beat motivation. So meaning, if you wake up one morning and you feel, yes, I cannot go through today. I can't do this. I can't what. If you get into that mood, but you've built this habit of being consistent in doing your morning structure and doing whatever it is that you're going to do.
Yep.
Now you're falling back to that structures I was talking about earlier. Instead of falling back to, okay, well, now I'm just going to spend the whole morning in bed and get ready 10 minutes before I need to get in the car.
Yep.
Now you've got a structure and a routine to follow that you've put in place. So on those bad days, it still helps you to keep routines going. It still helps you to keep up that level of consistency of what you're supposed to produce. And I'm just trying to think of a simple example how to explain it very plainly. It's just like in the mornings. If you every morning wake up, brush your teeth, read your Bible, eat breakfast, shave, whatever it is. If you build that, let's take a simple thing. Wake up, shower, so you smell good, shave, so your teeth is not yellow, and you put deodorant on. Those 4 things. Okay? Now, if you do that every single morning, that builds a level of consistency which other people also see. And they'll know, okay, listen, this guy clearly does something in the morning that he's always so clean, smelling good, looking good, smiling well.
Correct.
Even if on your bad days when you wake up and you're like, okay, I can't do this today. I can't, whatever. If you build back and fall back onto your habits that you've built of waking up and showering first, it's a pretty simple, stupid example, but that proves the point. It's the point of building your habit, building a routine and a structure through your consistency, which then helps add to your consistency. So this is why consistency beats motivation, because one day you wake up and you feel like you feel sick or you feel ill or you just feel demotivated because something happened or a family member passed or something. But building on your structure and falling back onto that helps you produce that level of consistency of being clean, still having that smell and that aroma about you. There you go. It's a simple, straightforward example about why consistency matters.
Yeah, and it also gives you a weird sense of pride and a weird, I suppose you can't really call it weird, but it gives you the sense of pride and you carry yourself very well because you are consistent in that and that whole demeanor that you have as a man becomes more and more respected because you carry yourself well. People just look at you that you don't carry slouching or walking around or anything like that. You carry yourself just very, very well and with purpose. And I think that's really where the meaning behind it all is that there's purpose behind it. So what's the vision? Where are you heading towards it? And all the little steps you're doing, are they leading to that? Remember, we spoke that about a couple episodes ago. And another thing is waking up and having a cold shower. There's often times where, even this morning, I thought, oh, my word.
Not today.
Not today. And then I just say to myself, no, just go and have that cold shower. And it's not fun.
No,
it's not fun at all. But after the fact, I'm happy I've done it. And it's the same thing like going to gym as well. Being regular at gym, what are you doing? You're building your physical self so that you are healthy and you are in a position to be able to serve family and people. And so it's a great thing to do. And that regular, every day in, every day, every single day, holidays, you name it, all those, you maintain that routine and it builds where you want it to go. So it's a good thing.
It's actually a point in and of itself. Is actually consistency can become a motivation on its own. It can be a reason for motivation. So for me, exactly on those cold showers, on the days when I wake up and I'm like, oh, I just do not want to today.
Right.
I've done it almost every day this year, with the exception of a few times where it was out of my control when we didn't have water or I was not able to get into a shower in the morning because we had other stuff to do.
Like your trip at Sun City.
Sun City, I wasn't able to get in there because we literally had 3 hours of sleep and had to be down by the time that we were already up. So we were already late. Anyway, that's the first one. The second time was when we didn't have water yet.
Yes.
But every day, even when I woke up feeling a little bit sick, I was in the shower. So that in itself became motivation to be like, I cannot lose this streak. I've gotten this far. I've got to get it done. I've got to see it out. Got to see it through.
Well, look at in your particular situation as well. You haven't been sick this year at all. Why?
That's also
Consistent.
I also think it's a massive thing to do with mindset and
Yes.
shift about it. But that's an episode for another time. That's an episode for another time.
For sure.
Yeah, you see, we didn't get through any points. We're on point 2 of 10, and we're on 20 minutes of filming already.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to the next one.
Okay.
The compound effects is actually a pretty short one.
Mhm.
Small, consistent actions build massive results over time in gym,
Correct.
faith, and work.
Yeah.
Even in relationships. But yeah,
Even finances, you know, if you think about the other day, I had pulled a statement on investment that I've been making, and I didn't even realize it had grown to what it has, and it literally was very small amounts, and so now I'm thinking, okay, a couple of things I want to settle, but now I'm just going to thump as much as I can into that, because the growth that I have had on that has been 41% over the period of time, and it's like, wow.
Now that October statement that was there, it was something like 20-something% return in 1 month.
There we go.
It is a little bit of a different investment, so we can maybe, if you guys are interested, have a little bit of a chat about investments and such, and maybe we can bring on a guru. We actually know a guy who can teach and give some advice.
That'll be good, yeah.
Yeah, but only if you guys are interested. But otherwise, just as a quick little thing, is even it applies in games. There's a game that I play called Balloon Tower Defense 6. And if you start early and you bite the bullet and take a few knocks in your life total, and you start a snowball effect, you build up this amazing snowball that ends up with you having so much money you can buy whatever you want to defend and defeat these balloons. So it is consistency in doing the little things and making little sacrifices and investing in a month that builds and creates this massive compound effect.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Sure.
Good.
No, I like that, and I'm very happy about where it's leading to. So, Project Me is coming on nicely.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Then identity through consistency. Point number 4. What you do consistently becomes who you are.
Oh, yeah.
This is so true.
Oh, for sure.
If you go to the gym consistently, who do you become? You become the gym boy.
Yeah.
If you go...
Just don't become a gym bunny.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, more often than not, you'd buy into that. But there's also another one behind that is you're a reflection of the 5 people you spend your time most around most.
Well, I like to bring in a conversation we had when we were leaving today from the gym. And your comment was, if I look at what those guys are going through, no, thank you, I'm not into that kind of thing. So that's why I'm saying a gym bunny. It really depends on what you really want at the end of the day. However, be careful that it doesn't overtake a lot of what you are doing. And so if you're not careful, that thing can actually overtake and become something new that actually never was part of what you want it to be. And so if you become, in inverted commas, addicted to the training, it could become too much. And then you become this blob of muscle. Pardon me. And then one day you say, okay, I've had enough. I don't want to do this anymore. Then you become this blob of fat. And then you go back to the other side, and then you sit with all this excess. How do I get rid of this thing? You're a lot older. It can take us a lot longer, ask me, a lot longer to get rid of. So then you go to fasting and all these other. So just be happy with who you are.
Be happy and healthy. Yeah, so I get what you're trying to say there. So what he's talking about is this. After gym, we were looking at some guys that are seriously big. They were walking around and they don't look happy. And
no, they don't.
We know quite a few of them, and a lot of them are very, very nice guys once you get to know them. But when you look at them from afar, they don't look like they're happy people. And that's just because it becomes their identity, and that becomes like the thing. It's like, whenever you join a community or something, there's always a thing around it, or a way to act and a way to carry yourself, or a way you've got to expect it to be, and that becomes who you are. So exactly that. Consistency forms your identity. So consistently going to the gym turns you into a gym bunny, which people expect you, number one, to be strong with everything, number two, to be taking steroids, number three, well,
Yeah, all
Yeah.
those stereotypes.
Yeah.
Eh?
So what you do consistently becomes who you are.
Certainly, yes.
So again,
All right.
another simple one. If you go fishing often, you become a fisherman.
There we go.
Simple.
Yeah, and you catch big fish like this. Eh?
Yeah. All right, next one. Consistency is a choice, not a feeling. This
Yep,
one I think we can skip over because we
that's
speak
stock
too
standard.
much. Yeah,
It speaks
we
for
speak about
itself.
choice so much, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always want to do the thing, but you choose to stay consistent, and it defines progress. Okay, tracking consistency to build momentum. This is what I wanted to get onto
All right.
because,
Right at the end.
well, it's 6 of 10, but we'll get there. Tracking progress, tracking consistency builds momentum. So you were talking about it, how every time you take a measurement and you see that, okay, I'm down a waist or whatever with the belt, this is where it comes from. It builds momentum. So you're sticking to your consistency of going to the gym, eating healthily or not eating, being consistent in the fasting, water intake being the same, consistent in sleeping, all of the above results in and builds this momentum, which then results in what you ultimately want.
Yep.
So this is where I wanted to get to, and this is I think is pretty important, is your consistent effort will result in your momentum being built towards whatever your goal is.
Fact. Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say. Go first.
Yeah. No, you're right. And as I said, 72 this week, 72 next week, 72 last week, 72 the week after. And I'm hoping for me to get down to, and my ideal weight I would like to get to is 112, between 108 and 112 kilograms. And it's very, very possible. I don't believe it'll be this year. But by the time it's my birthday next year, I want to be at that weight and to be consistent in that. So I put it out there now. It's there. It's a number I want to head towards. If I can get to 108, I'll be very happy. But I'd also be very happy with 112. And so the fasting, I'm pushing through to the end of this year now. We've got another 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Literally 3 or 4 weeks of this year, and then that's it. So 3 more or 4 more opportunities to do 72 hours, and then after that we're going to do it. In fact, I was speaking to a colleague today, and I said last week I did a 72, 36, and 24. So I'm doing that again this week. 72. Tomorrow night we eat, and then tomorrow night is Wednesday evening. So Friday morning, I'll be able to eat again, and then Saturday morning will be my next meal again. So, and I'm happy to say that I'm sure the results are going to start coming. I'm feeling it already, so happiness.
We'll leave it there and we'll report back when we get there again.
Correct, yes.
Okay, tracking consistency builds momentum. Simple tips that you can use is using calendars, checklists, to-do lists, and daily notes. I'm not such a big fan of daily affirmations and such, but you can also do that. You can also be like,
you could.
I am consistent in praying. I am consistent in whatever. You can do your own affirmation things.
Yeah, figure out for yourself, But also how you speak to yourself is also very important.
And that's exactly why our next point is consistency builds self-trust. When you keep small promises to yourself, your confidence grows.
All right.
So exactly that. When you keep little things to yourself, you also know you're keeping a promise to yourself. You're saying, listen, I'm worth this effort. I'm worth this time. And that in turn grows your confidence. So let's look at a simple skincare routine. How that consistency in investing in something like that and doing it over and over and over, that will build your confidence exponentially.
Totally, yeah.
Because number one, it's something that you know, okay, listen, it's good for me. And I will see the results. It's actually something I was going to talk about with, I can't remember what it was. That's why I might need to write even more notes and keep it with us. But it was something I wanted to say where the compound effects eventually results in something that you can be super proud of. I think it was just gymming. Like if you do chest for 3-4 months straight or whatever,
just chest hardcore,
you'll end up with a good-looking chest. If you chisel it and you do it right and you do it properly, with the consistency you put in, you'll get the results you want, and then you'll be happy and proud, and happy.
Moving forward, yes, certainly yes.
Alrighty, consistency in faith. That one I think is one for a different episode, but just to quickly touch on it. A regular prayer, reading, and reflection builds spiritual strength. So, yeah,
I like
that
that.
one. As I said, I think it might be for the next episode because we're already on 30 minutes of recording.
Yeah.
But just
So
to
it
quickly
is,
touch
yeah.
on it, is just to say that building a habit of reading and building a habit of spending time in God's Word, especially, number one, you start to pick up on a lot more that you can use that helps grow your strength. And again, it starts that snowball effect. It's a
Correct.
knock-on effect.
Yeah. So maybe let's talk about that on our next one.
Our next episode is all about habits.
Yeah.
So I'm going to quickly finish this last one here. Why inconsistency hurts progress more than failure. Missing once is fine, but missing repeatedly is where things begin to break. Exactly that. So it's very much the same thing of starting the snowball. If you randomly just stop that snowball, it's going to start breaking everything that's happening. It will break that snowball. Like if you imagine a snowball running down a hill and then you run it into a rock. If the snowball looks like this and it runs into that rock, it's going to destroy that snowball, and half of it's going to go off and continue
Correct.
maybe its own little things, but it's not the snowball that you started, and that snowball has to start growing again. So don't let your consistency be hurt and be broken.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
And then point number 10, the bridge between consistency and habits. To me, I think consistency results in natural habits, and we wrote it down here. Consistency is the choice is a manual code, but habits are the automatic mode. Sorry, let me read that again. Consistency is the manual mode, and habits are the automatic mode.
Yes. Yeah.
So, the next episode, we're going to talk about habits a little bit more and talk about how that flows also into consistency.
I like that.
And yeah, I think just to summarize what we're talking about with consistency, to me, what stood out most is that it builds, it's a snowball effect. You've got to start something and you've got to continually keep adding to it so this thing can grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And it ends up being something you can be seriously proud of and confident in because you've just, put the effort in and you've been consistent with it.
Absolutely. And that's it. Consistently consistent.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you like this new structure. Let us know.
Yeah.
For those of you who are taking notes and giving us some advice, let us know about the structure, and if our video is too long, then we can also try and summarize it. Maybe we do 5 and 5 and do half now and half later in another episode or whatever. But we'll figure it out as we go along. But I think I like this structure. I think it works quite well.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I like it too. Habits. Next up, habits. Here we go. This is us slicing out of here. Bye for now.